Hello, it is the 3rd of September 2024 and today is going to be a very nice day. Sun will be shining, got not much to deliver, but it's going to be a full day because of the distance I have to travel today. I thought I'd touch on something that's not controversial, but religion, Christianity. I don't know why there's so many forms of that faith. Protestant, and all the rest of it, Christian. I don't know. Jehovah's Witness. Why are there so many? The Quran, there's a lot of positive aspects to the Quran and the way it tells you how to live your life. But let's face it, there are some evil passages in that book. And it teaches you to be intolerant of other religions. It teaches you to destroy other religions and people who don't believe in anything. Atheists. They are infidels and their heads should be struck off. That's what it says in the Quran. There's no ambiguity there. But the passages that make it okay to marry young girls, teenagers, that's Muhammad's carnal nature. If God did talk to him, he didn't say that. Muhammad himself put that in the Quran. If he was listening to God, if he was God's prophet. Yeah. And I think he's burning in hell right now because of what he's done. Yes, God told me this must go into the holy book. Bullshit. Your own carnal lusts. Put that in the book. Buddhism is a good faith because all life is sacred to the Buddhist faith. Christianity, not so much. When men's egos get involved, look at the Holy War. Killing in the name of God and Jesus to try and force Christianity on other cultures, other faiths. I suppose Christianity did to other faiths what the Muslim faith wants to do now to other faiths. Force it onto the people, onto other cultures. And if you don't believe in it, well, you're dead. Christianity, I've just realised that Christianity did it before Muslims. Wow. But Buddhism, all life is sacred. They believe in reincarnation. And I don't know about that. I mean, my nephew, because my mum told me that he pointed to an old photo of my mum's granddad. And he said, "That's me. I was a fireman." This is when my nephew was really young, only just learned to talk. And my mum was astounded. "That's you?" And he went, "Yeah, I'm in my uniform." And back then, it didn't look like a fireman's uniform. Just had like a black shirt with silver buttons going down the front of it. But back then, it was a fireman's uniform. He knew exactly what it was. And he pointed to my mum's granddad in that photo directly. And there was a few people in the photo. And yeah, so reincarnation, maybe. I know there's life after death. I saw my dad walk down the hallway of the house, past the lounge door. I was sitting in the chair reading my book. and movement caught my eye, and I looked up and I saw my dad walk past the lounge room door towards my mum's room. And I shot out of my chair and I went, yes, he's still around. This is 2 days after he passed away. So life after death is no longer a matter of faith with me. I know there's life after death because I saw my dad 2 days after he died. So don't be fearful of death. There is something else after. Avoid it at every opportunity. Yeah. Never seek it out and never be afraid of it. Because I know there is something after. But Buddhism is a good faith. I think Buddhism was influenced by Jesus. Or started by Jesus. Who's to know that Buddha wasn't a disciple of Jesus? The time in which Buddhism was started and Jesus was around at pretty much the same time. You see, Jesus was missing from the Bible between the ages of 19 and 29. There's no mention of Jesus in the Bible when he was that age. Between 19 years of age and 29 years of age, nothing in the Bible about Jesus. Now there's old Chinese scrolls, paper scrolls, which describe a guy who came to their land and taught a better way of life. You know, they called him the healer. They didn't call him Jesus, they just called him the healer. Because apparently he went around healing people. What a coincidence. And yeah, they reckon that's where Jesus went in those years. He couldn't, how can I say it? He couldn't teach exactly what he had to teach them because the people were different. So we had to approach those people a different way. The culture was totally different. The Asian culture. And so he had to relate to the people of that land so they could understand clearly his message. So the same story, the same message, but in a different way. And the religion of Buddhism came out of that. And I think the Buddhists got it right more than the Christians. Because in their religion, Buddhism is all life is sacred. It's wrong to kill. Not according to the Christians. If you're doing it in the name of God. So there you go. And there's a tomb of somebody in China, and at the bottom of the tomb there's an imprint of the person's feet in clay, and there's clear impressions in that clay thing of that person's feet where those feet were crucified. Now in that land, in that time, no one was crucified. And that's where they reckon Jesus went after he rose from the grave. He went back to Asia. And that's where they buried him. Now, are they going to crack open the tomb and see who's in there? I wouldn't do it. You couldn't pay me enough money to do that. No way. I don't think it's been opened yet. And nobody wants to step up and do it. Understandable. But yeah, there you have it. There's scientific evidence of somebody with crucified feet buried in a tomb in China somewhere. Can't remember where it was. At the time when Jesus rose from the dead and he left, he didn't go to heaven. He went back to Asia to finish his teachings. So that's why Buddhism and Christianity are so similar in a lot of ways. Or only the stories are different in their book. So things to ponder about. So that's all I'm going to say on religion and what I think about what happens when you die. I don't think you're punished for not believing in God. I don't think you go to hell for not believing in God. I think you're punished on the way you lived your life. That's what you're judged on. Because I was talking to a priest and I asked him a question. If I have a neighbour, lived next to me my whole life, and he was a rotten, dirty scoundrel, never got along with him, always had a nasty word to say, but he believes in God, and I believe in God, does that mean that we're both going to go to heaven? He goes, yes. So I'm going to be stuck with this guy for eternity after I've been stuck with him all my life. And he goes, well, yeah, pretty much. Well, that's not very nice, is it? stuck with this absolute drop kick of a guy for eternity. Heaven would turn into hell if that was the case. If I was stuck with that guy. But yeah, so it's not based, your judgment is not based on what you believe. It is based on how you lived your life. That's what I think. So that's what I'm going with. Hope I'm right. I believe in God anyway. So, covering all the bases. I don't go to church or anything like that. But I live my life the Christian way. I conduct myself through life as a Christian, but I don't go to church. Because I believe people are the tools of God, and a church is like a toolbox. Why you want to lock up God's tools? Get them out in the world, doing the work, being a kind and generous person, giving person. So do unto others and all of that. Listen to the better voices of your nature, and you'll be sweet. You'll be living a good life. You'll be judged on that, and you'll go to heaven. So it's all good. Oh well, I'm going to finish it there because I've got my first delivery right now. Later.